All right, traders. The watch this video for Friday, December 21st. Another red day in the market. I don't know, the Dow was down 400 something points. It is pretty ugly out there, and it still is. Anytime you see, if this was an individual stock or if this is the indexes like SPY here, the same holds true. It is way oversold. I mean, it's just straight down. The market, I've talked about this before. The market makes these down moves fast and furious over a very short period of time. So I don't mind kind of sidestepping these periods. Now I'm still trading, and I had a nice day today without shorting. But I take solace in the fact that these periods are generally pretty quick. Everyone says, well, what do you do if the market gets ugly? How do you find something to trade? Well, you wait for those A-plus setups on an intraday basis and you trade them, but otherwise you just kind of stay in cash and watch and wait, and I'm in cash every night. But these periods, you can go back and look at the SPY chart, you see these big booms, right? A big boom down, and I haven't even done this, you could probably go back and you got to go away. But look at this one, how nasty was that? But it lasted like 4 days, massive bounce, looked like it was rolling over again, and then kind of right back into, look at them. There are always these huge spikes that just happen so quickly. In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't feel quick now if you're holding and hoping or averaging down, which, I never recommend. But anyway, so don't fret and think the end of the world is coming. These periods just don't last that long, and then the market will find a new range, and, trading will be a little bit easier than it is now. If you weren't in chat today, this was pretty cool. I had the MRIN chart up live when this candle right here, I'm hovering over it, was forming. I was talking about another morning setup, I think. I was doing the lunchtime Q&A, right? I was doing the morning review of the morning gap plays and so on. And then Wayne typed in, hey, let's watch this MRIN. And so I looked at it and it was starting to curl up. And so I put the chart up. So it was pretty cool because when I put the chart up, I'm projecting it. And if you weren't there, you missed out. This candle was forming, and then Wayne said, you know what, I like this over 675. There's a big seller on the tape. High of day is right here. I put this line here. High of day was just above. We like stacked catalysts. That seller at 75 gets taken out. We're probably going to light up the new high of day ticker. Yesterday's high is not that far away from there, right? And so on. So, and again, I show you what I gained on it, $770, and I left a ton of money on the table. It was just a beautiful call by Wayne, and just an A-plus setup, any way you slice it, right? Intraday, cup and handle, seller on the tape, just below the high of day. If that seller gets taken out, new high of day, and it's not just any stock, but it's MRIN that made like this massive move yesterday. So it's like the most in-play stock out there once it lights up the new highs ticker, and we were able to use candlesticks, an intraday chart plus level 2. Remember, when the chart lines up with level 2 on a stock that's in play, you don't get more in play than MRIN was because it was the strongest stock in the whole wide world yesterday. This was just a beautiful entry. And it's one of those sniper entries where you take and you're green right away and you just have to scale out into strength. So I had a nice day, but I'm not being overly active right now. So here is what I'm watching going into Friday. All right. Keep in mind, a quick note, Monday is Christmas Eve. I believe, God, I hope I'm not wrong, I think it's a half day. I'm probably going to see if there's any morning gap plays on Christmas Eve, and that's it, right? That's Monday. Tomorrow is the Friday before what you could almost call a 4-day weekend because the market's closed Tuesday, and there's not going to be a lot of traders trading Monday. So you could almost call it a 4-day weekend. So tomorrow I think it's going to be dead too. Now, one thing that might give us a little extra volume is how beaten up the stock market is. It's kind of setting up for a possible big bounce. So there could certainly be some action tomorrow. I will not be there all day tomorrow because it's my wife's birthday. And what do they say? Happy wife, happy life. So I'm going to trade the morning, probably the first hour, and then I'm going to be done. All right? All right, so TLRY, why is this on watch? Well, it keeps coming out with this good news. I've talked about this in the last couple videos. And it's trading right up around $80 right now. I think there was some after-hours news on pot stocks and cannabis-infused beverages and so on that has gotten this one popping a little bit. But I definitely want to keep an eye over on this one. One thing I don't like about this is right here, it was flagging below 80 with the high of day just above, yesterday's high above that, stat catalyst, right? And I actually got long through 80 here, and I made like $100 on it because it came right back down to my entry. I scalped some, and it actually took out the high of day by a penny. And I thought this thing was going to squeeze like $5, and came right back down, and I was back out the rest. So I scalped some, out the rest. But that's one thing I don't like about it. It broke the high of day by a penny. With the recent news and stuff it's had, and the amount of shorts in this thing, I really thought it was going to rip. You can kind of blur your vision and see kind of an inverse head and shoulders here too. But anyway, I do want to watch TLRY tomorrow. I didn't really like the action today. But as far as pot stocks go, also CGC. Let me go back to the daily. Whatever that news was, and check that out on your own. Don't rely on me with news ever, but check that out on your own. This closed at 27.60. There's nothing pretty here. But in after hours, right now as I'm talking, and it's 5:41 Eastern time, it's trading at 29.23. So these pot stocks might be in play tomorrow, but keep in mind, they're pretty beaten up, and they're not, like this one's not, if it opens tomorrow where it is right now, it's not gapping up above resistance or anything like that. So I don't know if they're going to get any legs. But I also want to watch CGC and NBEV, NBEV. This one closed at 660, and in after hours, it was up over 680. Right now, it's trading at 665 again. So who knows? We're just going to keep an eye out on the pot stocks. How's that? INPX, let me zoom in so you can see this a little bit. You see that big volume stick today. This one opened a gap up. It's a recent reverse splitter back here. It did have news today, something about sales. And it really did catch a bid early, but it gave almost all of it back. 5-minute candles here. So it gapped up, pulled back, ripped again, but then bled lower all day. But so did the market. So that's why, because of this volume stick and the fact that I think maybe the market helped take this back down, I do want to watch it again tomorrow. MRIN, I already talked about this one. It's a huge move for 2 days and gave back, closing well off its highs. But anytime you have a stock that's making these kind of moves, got to have it on watch. I'm not very excited about it tomorrow though, because of the big 2-day move it's had. WBA, I've got a few bounce plays on watch, and these are just stocks that are really, really oversold, and if the market bounces, I half expect them to give a nice setup as well. This is really beaten up, eating that downside waterfall shape. It took out support here from October plus the 200-day, but oops, it found some buying beneath that, so tomorrow might be a bounce day in that one. Apple is just getting oversold here. Now, if I pan out, I really love Apple if it could flush down to the 150 area. Look at that, back here, bounced off 150, back here, and it's gotten there in a hurry. It may not get there tomorrow, may not get there for years, I don't know, right? But it is oversold, and Apple is always one of my go-tos when it gets really beaten up and the market gets really beaten up. So I want to watch Apple tomorrow. HP, another just straight down. It's just straight down. It's not like I'm bullish on these, but these can give a nice snapback bounce. So that one, and then LB is kind of getting a little bit of shape here to take out the recent lows from September, but it's come pretty far pretty quickly to get there. So also kind of maybe looking for a snapback bounce there. I'm not really in love with anything on this list, but we'll add some gappers to this list as well in the pre-market. And man, I'm focused. I'm focused on A+ setups on an intraday basis, and that's it. Do not trade any kind of slop. Be very vigilant and super focused, and be very selective in this market, and and we'll be fine. I'll see y'all in chat tomorrow.